Good morning everyone. In our previous class we thoroughly discussed about the two important principles of management. What are all those? The first one is an F.W. Taylor's principles, that is also called as a scientific management, and the second one is an Henry Fayol's 14 principles of management. So in this class we will going to discuss the comparison in between these two principles, okay, differences between these two principles. So now yesterday class alli athwa previous classes alli ಏನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಟೂ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಯಾರ್ದು? ಹೆನ್ರಿ ಫಿಯೋಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಟೇಲರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಓಕೆನಾ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಣ, comparison madana. So comparison, or we will make an differences in between the Henry Fayol's principles as well as the Taylor's principle, okay, and this is the last topic of your second unit. Comparison between Taylor's and Fayol's principles. So it is an point of differentiation, point of difference. Here Taylor principle, idu Fayol's principle, okay. So let me discuss one by one. The first point of difference is concern, okay. The first point of difference is concern. The Taylor techniques and principles are concerned with the workers' efficiency, whereas in case of Fayol's principle it is mainly focused, or whatever the principle which is given by the Fayol, that is mainly concerned about the management efficiency. So first one difference is concern. The Taylor, whatever the principles and techniques given by the Taylor, which is primarily concerned about what? Workers' efficiency. Whereas in case of Fayol principle, which is mainly concerned about what? Which is mainly concerned about the management efficiency. So as you know that there are two important classes in an organization. Yavade organization allu there are two important classes irutte. The first one is an management class, another one is an worker class, okay. These two classes maybe it is having a conflicting nature, and the Fayol or Taylor, which is mainly focuses on the workers' efficiency, whatever the principles and techniques given by the Taylor, which is primarily concerned about the workers' efficiency. Andre workers' efficiency andre no, he wanted to contribute, means Taylor wanted to contribute of 100% efforts towards their work. Organization alli yarella work ಮಾಡ್ತಿದಾರೋ, so ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಕರು they have to put the 100% of efforts towards the contributions, towards the work. So that is called it as an workers' efficiency. At the same time the resources will also be used in a limited way, okay. Whereas in case of management efficiency, that is given by the Fayol's concern. So here whatever the 14 principles given by the Fayol, so that is mainly concerned with the management efficiency. So ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ principles ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು 14 principles ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ first one is division of work, authority and responsibility, remuneration, discipline, division of work, and also unity, principle of unity, principle of equity. So these are all the principles which is given by the fuel with the what purpose, which is having a motive to improve the management efficiency. So this is the first differences. So he is primarily concerned about what? He is primarily concerned about the workers efficiency, as well as fuel, it is concerned about the fuel principles, which is concerned about the increasing or main motive is to improve the management efficiency. Okay, this is the first differences. And the next one is level or perception. So level or perception, Taylor stated his studies and approaches from the lowest level of the management, and whereas in case of Fayol's principle, so these are all the Fayol stated his studies and approaches from the highest level of management. Okay, second one is level or perception. So it is belongs to the lowest level of lowest level of the organization. But Fayol principles, which is stated all the studies and approaches, which is belongs to the which is belongs to the highest level of organization. So as you know that in previous differentiation we come to know that he want to improve the workers efficiency. So ಅವರು workers efficiency ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so workers ಯಾವ level ಗೆ belongs ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ? They are belong to the lowest level of an organization. Workers ಯಾವ level ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ? Organization ನ lowest level ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, so ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ principles ಯಾರಿಗೆ related ಆಗಿದೆ? So they are related to the lowest levels of our management. At the same time, when it comes to the Fayol's principle, whatever the principle which is given by the Fayol, that is relating to the increasing the management efficiency, right? And the then management people which belongs to whom? So which belongs to the highest level of an organization. Organization in highest level alli yaru irtare? Management irutte. Organization in a lowest level alli yaru irtare? Workers irtare. So the levels anta consider ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, so in levels also we can make the differentiation. Whatever the principles which is given by the Taylor, that is belongs to the lowest level of an organization. At the same time, whatever the principles which is given by the Fayol, that is belongs to the management people. Then management is nothing but they are belongs to the highest level of an organization. So this is also one of the differences. Okay, and the next one is about the emphasizes. So emphasizes, Taylor led great emphasis on standardization of work, whereas in case of Fayol, so he led great emphasis on functions of management. Okay, emphasizes, so he gave more importance for what? Standardization of work. So whereas in case of Fayol's principles, it led down the great emphasis on what? Great emphasis on functions of management. So this is also one of the difference. So ಈ difference ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೇಲರ್ ಏನು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ತುಂಬ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ವೈಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನಿಂಗ್ ದ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೈಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನಿಂಗ್ ದ Taylor's principles and techniques, I explained that he insists that there should be a standardization for every work in an organization. ಸೊ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆನೋ ಸೊ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಕಿಗೂ ಏನಿರಬೇಕು, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ವಿತ್ ಅವರ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್. ನಾವು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ನ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ನ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ through this we can come to know whether our workers are efficient or inefficient. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸು ಎಫಿಷಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೋ ಅನ್ಎಫಿಷಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೋ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹಿ ಇನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ there should be a standardization for every work. Standardization, it is not only for the quality of the products, okay, but it is also for the size and measurements and weight of the products. When it comes to the products, there should be a standardization for every products, as well as there should be a standardization for every work. So that's what he insists in this in his principle. So whereas in case of fuel principle, he does not gives the ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಕಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ತುಂಬ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು, ಸೊ ಹಿ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಎಂಫಸೈಸಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹಿ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ದ ಮೋರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಸ್. ಓಕೆ, and the next one is about the focus. So the Taylor is focused on the increasing the productivity. So Taylor ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, he is mainly focuses on the increasing the productivity, whereas in case of fuel he is mainly focuses on the improving the overall administration. Okay, focus, another one point of difference is focus. So here he is mainly focuses on what? He is mainly focuses on the increasing the productivity. So he, and whereas in case of fuel principle, he is mainly focuses on what? He is mainly focuses on the improving the overall administration. Improving the overall administration. Okay, so the focused area of a Taylor is to increasing the productivity. So when I explaining the standardization of work, okay, that is the second technique which is given by the Taylor. So Taylor second techniques yavadu, so we have to fix the standards for the every work. So when we are fixing the standards for every work, he insists that the manager has to go with the what? The manager has to go with the work study ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೇ ವರ್ಕಿಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೂ ಮುಂಚೆ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ವರ್ಕ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ನ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ after that he has to fix the standards. Okay, and also in work study technique it includes the some of the studies like time study ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, motion study. So time study ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, motion study ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, and also more time method study, fatigue study. So ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸು ಏನು, ಸೊ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. And also it helps to reduce the wasteful movements or unproductive movements from the productive movements, and also by this only we can improve the efficiency of a worker. So idral main motive enu ivrdu ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಅನ್ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸು ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಮೇನ್ ಮೋಟಿವ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅನ್ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸೊ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಎಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಕೂಡ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇವರ ಮೇನ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಮೇನ್ ಫೋಕಸ್ಡ್ ಏರಿಯಾ, ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೈ ದಿಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ they want to increase the productivity. Okay, so productivity ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ. ಫಸ್ಟು ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ನು ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇದರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಮೇನ್ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ದ productivity. So whereas in case of fuel principles, he gives the importance for the overall administration in an organization. So whatever the principles which is given by the fuel, so that is main for what purpose, for the better management. So 14 ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಏನು ಫ್ಯೂಯಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸ್ದು ಮೇನ್ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಏನು, ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್, ಬೆಟರ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ನ ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಇವ್ರದ್ದು ಮೇನ್ ಫೋಕಸ್ಡ್ ಏರಿಯಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್. So the point of difference is focus. So Taylor, which is focused on the increasing the productivity by eliminating the wasteful movements from the unproductive movements. Through this we want to increase the efficiency. And also fuel principles, his main focus is to improve the overall administration. So whatever the 14 principles which is given by the fuel, it is mainly for what purpose, for the purpose of improving or the better management. So this is also one of the differences. So the next difference is major contribution. So major management ಗೆ ಮೇಜರ್ ಇವರಿಬ್ರದ್ದು ಏನು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಅದ್ರ ಬೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೂ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಟೇಲರ್ಸ್ದು ಮೇಜರ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಏನು, he given the scientific techniques and the scientific principles to the management, whereas in case of fuels he contribute the 14 general principles to the management. So these are all the major contributions to the management. Okay, for their contribution also we can make the differences. The fifth one is major contribution. So fuel Taylor, what he is given, he given the scientific techniques as well as the scientific principles to the management. Techniques and scientific principles. So principles to the management. So whereas in case of fuel gives the 14 general principles to management. So his contribution is the scientific techniques as well as the scientific principles. So scientific techniques andre yavdu, functional foremanship, standardization of work, as well as the work study techniques. So in work study technique it includes some of the studies like time study, fatigue study, method study, motion study. Likewise he gives some of the techniques. So when it comes to the principles, he given 4 principles. That is, first one is scientific, not rule or thumb, harmony, not discard, as well as not individualism, as well as also the development of a worker. So these are all the 4 principles, scientific principles, which is given by the Taylor. Okay, and the fuels principles, he contributed the 14 general principles to the management. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ 14 principles of management ಅಂದರೆ, first one is then division of work, authority and responsibility, discipline, and unity in command, unity in direction, as well as also like equity, principle of equity, principle of order and remuneration. Likewise, these are all the 14 principles which is given by the Fayol, that is his contributions towards the management. Okay, this is also one of the differences in between the Taylor principles and the Fayol's principles. And the next one is personality. So when on the point of personality also we can make the differentiation. So on the basis of personality, so Taylor developed a personality as a scientist, and he was become as a famous of scientific management, or he was become as a famous of father of scientific management. Whereas in case of Fayol, so Fayol development of personality of researcher and practitioner, and he was become as a famous as father of management studies and thoughts, and also it is called it as a father of general principles of management. Okay, the 6th difference is personality. Personality, he was having a personality of what? He developed a personality of what? Scientist. And whereas in case of Fayol, he developed the personality as researcher, and he was become as a famous of what? Become as a famous of father of general principle of management. So the Taylor was become as a father of scientific management. So whatever the principle which is given by the Taylor, which is in the point of view of the scientific way only, we have to take the decision in a scientific way, not on the basis of rule or thumb or the intuition of a manager, but all the decision which is taken by the manager in an scientific way. Scientific way means in a particular decision, what are all the factors influencing on that particular decision, he has to consider all the factors and also make all the things happens. Likewise, he has to take the decision. Okay, and also whatever the principles which is given, principles and techniques given by the Taylor, which is in a point of view of scientific way only. Okay, and he is developed as a personality as a scientist. Okay, the next one, when in case of Fayol's principles, so he developed the personality as a researcher, not as a scientist, and also he develops the 14 principles on the basis of this research only, and also he was become as a father of principles or general principles of management. And when it comes to the Taylor, so he was become famous as a father of scientific management. So this is also one of the differences in between the Taylor principle as well as the Fayol's principle. Okay, the next one principle is about the next one next one point of difference is the unity of command. The next one is about the unity of command. So, unity of command, the tailor did not follow the unity of command, but whereas in case of fuel, so he strictly follow the unity of command. Okay, that is also one of the difference. Seventh difference, unity of what? Command. So, unity of command, he didn't follow the, or he didn't believe in the unity of command. Did not follow the unity of command, but and he insists, he means what? Tailor insists 8 specialized person or 8 experts was there, and also fuel, he strictly follow the unity of command. So, Taylor, as when it comes to the Taylor, he did not believe in the unity of command. So, in this case you have to remember the technique. First technique na ನೆನಪು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. First technique ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ explain ಮಾಡಿದೆ, that is functional foremanship. So, functional foremanship ಅಲ್ಲಿ explain ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, so there should be a 8 minimum specialized person was there in order to give the instructions to the workers, to give the commands to the workers, as well as the supervising the workers. There should be a minimum 8 specialized person. The 4 which is belongs to the planning department and 4 belongs to the operation department. So, first one functional foremanship alli Taylor ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಹೋಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ 2 ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೇಕು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಈಚ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ minimum 4 specialized person ಅನ್ನೋರು ಇರಬೇಕು. For what purpose? For the purpose of giving the instructions to the workers or giving the commands, instructions, and also supervising the workers. Okay, he insists the minimum 8 specialized person or minimum 8 bosses was there. He did not strictly follow the unity of command. Okay, when it comes to the fuel, he strictly follow the unity of command. For what purpose? In order to remove the conflict in the minds of an workers mind alliro conflict na remove ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ he strictly follow the unity of command. Because just think, ಇಬ್ರು ಅಥವಾ ಮೂವರು ಬಾಸಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅವರು ಒಬ್ರೊಬ್ರು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಥರ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ಮೇ ಅರೈಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ minds of one, or confusion may arise in the minds of a worker, that with whom instruction should I follow, ನಾನು ಯಾರ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದು ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ he strictly advised that there should be a one boss to give the instructions or commands to a particular worker, and that worker should be accountable for that particular boss only. ಏನು ಒಬ್ಬ ಬಾಸು ವರ್ಕರ್ಗೆ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇದರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ನ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ದ ವರ್ಕ್ ಇನ್ ಆ್ಯನ್ efficient way also, and also likewise he is going to give an importance for the unity of command. So this is also one of the differences, that is unity of command. Fuel, he does not believe in the unity of command, and also he insists that there should be a minimum 8 bosses was there. but when it comes to the fuel, so he strictly follow the unity of command. Unity of command means what? There should be one boss, and one boss which is given the instructions or supervising the workers, and also that worker should be accountable for the particular boss only. So this is also one of the differences. And the next differences is applicability. So applicability, when it comes to the applicability, the Taylor principles which is not applied for everywhere. Taylor principles ella kadenu apply agala. It is applied in a specialized situation or limited situation. Okay, when it comes to the fuels principles, so fuel principles, it is like a general principles. It can be applied universally. It can be applied universally. Through the application also we can make the differentiation. Okay, eighth one is applicability. So Taylor, which is not applied, it is applied for in a specialized situation or limited situation. So whereas in case of fuel principle, so these are all the principles which can be applied for in universally. Universal applicability. ಸೊ ಇದು ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆನೂ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ವಿತ್ ಅ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ಸಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಫ್ಯೂಯಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್, ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈಡ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಲ್ because all the principles which is given by the fuel in an general sense only. It's like remuneration, fair remuneration kodbeku, and also unity of command irbeku, unity of directions irbeku, and remuneration employees na equal agi treat ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So ivella like general principles alva. In order to increase the management efficiency, he given the 14 principles. So these 14 principles are applicable in an universally. So whatever the nature of the business, irrespective of size of the business, whether it may be the strong or small, or whether it may be the large organization, so it can be applied, whether it may be the private organization, it is whether it is a government organization, whatever it may be. So these 14 principles which is applied for everywhere. Okay, these are all about the some of the differences between the Taylor's principles as well as the fuels principle. So this is the last concept of your second unit. Okay, agare nim second unit alli nav enen discuss madidvi. So we discuss the concept of principles of management as well as the meaning and definition of principles of management discuss madidvi. At the same time we discuss the significance. So what are all the importance and nature of the principles of management na discuss madidvi. And also management principles alli two important principles ide, adu yadu Taylor principles matte fuels principles. Taylor principles na principles and techniques na in detail agi discuss madidvi. And also fuels principle, fuels na 14 principles ಏನಿದೆನೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು in detail ಆಗಿ discuss ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. And also we discuss the differences between the two principles, that is Taylor principles ಗೂ ಮತ್ತೆ fuel principles ಗೂ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ differences ಇದೆ ಅಂತಾನು ಕೂಡ discuss ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. So these are all about your second unit, that is principles of management. Okay, and by this class only I am going to start up with your third unit, that is business environment. Okay, what is your third unit? business unit. Third, business environment. This is your third unit. So just think that if ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು organization, if the organization want to be succeeded, then the only internal management ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನು ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಬರೀ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸಾಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ the various external factors which are going to affect on the performance of an organization, so that the success of organization, it is not only depends on the internal management but also it is depend on the external factors. Okay, ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಸೆವರಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾವ್ದಾಗ್ಬೋದು? ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಬೈ ದ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್, ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸಪ್ಲೈಯರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವರ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಲೈಕ್ ವೈಸ್ NGOs ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ an organization, so that the manager, so in this chapter we will going to identify the important external forces. ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸಸ್ಸು ನಮ್ಮ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಹೇಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದು ನಾವು ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, so this is about the some introductions to the business environment. So let me discuss about the meaning of business environment. So when it comes to the meaning of business environment, the term business environment means the sum total of all the individual institutions and other factors that are outside the organization, outside the control of a business enterprises, but they may affect its operation or performance. Okay, meaning of business environment. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ business environment ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? The term business environment means sum total of all individual, so individual institutions and other factors that are outside the control of business enterprises, but they have impact on performance of enterprises. So in this meaning we can come to know that, so the term business environment means it is an sum total of individual institutions and other factors which are outside the control of a business enterprises, but they have impact on performance of an organization. ಸೊ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ನ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಅದರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರೈಸಸ್, ಬಟ್ these are all the but they having the impact on the business operations. ಆದರೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಮೀ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನರ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಆನ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ there may be an internal control. Internal control ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ which can be controlled by the organization. ಸೊ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ್ದಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್, ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆನ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್, ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಸ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಪನಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಸ್ನ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಬೇಕೋ ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಬೇಕೋ ಆಗ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆನ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ನ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು? ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನು, ವಿಚ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ controlled. That is called it as an internal environment. So external environment antandre which cannot be having a control over those things. The organization which does not having the control over all these things. Okay, adanna navu enantivi, external environment. Hagadre external environment alli yavav bartave, like economic factor ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, and political, legal ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ದೆನ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟರ್ಸ್, ಲೀಗಲ್, ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಕಲ್. So these are all some of the factors, these are all some of the external factors which does not having the organization does not having a control over all these things, but it has its impact on the organization. But ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಅದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು? ಇಫ್ ದೆರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ರೇಟ್. ಸೊ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ರೇಟು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಸೊ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಕೂಡ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ರೇಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ರೇಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್. ಲೈಕ್ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದರೆ, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ ದೆರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ, like irrespective of their gender, we have to give per head, we have to give the 500 rupees to and every ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೆಂಡರ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಮೇಲಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ವರ್ಕರ್ಗೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು 500 rupees ಏನಾದ್ರು ವೇಜಸ್ನ ಕೊಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಪರ್ ಡೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಏನಾದ್ರು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ, ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್. ಲೈಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ organization also, but it is does not having a controlled by the organization, but it is having as impact on the organization performance. So when it comes to the customers, so customers taste and preference ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಾಗೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ಡ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು lose our revenue ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಫ್ಯಾಷನ್ನಿಗೆ ತಕ್ಕಂಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸಿಗೆ ತಕ್ಕಂಗೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್, ಬಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಇmpact on the organizational performance. Okay, then the competition. If there is an increase in the competition, so organization ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ತುಂಬ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್. ಸೊ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಏನು ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅರ್ನ್ ದ ಲೆಸ್ ರೆವೆನ್ಯೂ ಆರ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದೇ ಥರ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಕಲ್. ಸೊ ವಿತ್ ದ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದಾಗ, ಸೊ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದಾಗ ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ಆ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿನ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಆಸ್ ಅನ್ ಔಟ್ಡೇಟೆಡ್ ಒನ್. ಸೊ ನಾವೇನಾಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಔಟ್ಡೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್. So these are all some of the external environment or with outside the control of an organization, or they are lies outside the border of the organization, but they are having its impact on the organizational performance, organization operations ಅಥವಾ organization performance ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So they are having its impact. That is we can call it as a what? Business environment. In short, business environment means it is sum total of all the individuals, institutions and other factors which lies the outside the organization, but they have having the impact on the performance of an organization. That is called it as a business environment. Okay, this is about the business environment. Okay, by the next class I am going to continue the further concept. Okay, and thank you.